So today is another cold and somewhat snowy day here at Country View Acres, and I've already taken care of all the livestock, all the water stalled out, and my next priority is firewood. We ran out this morning, we ran out of firewood, and we ran out of kindling, so I need to get the house stocked back up, and then I might go ahead and try to clean up some of this firewood shed while I'm out here. Come on. Nala, get down, get down. Oh, get out of there. All right, I got the side-by-side full of firewood and kindling. We're gonna take this back to the house, get it all stacked up, and then I need to go ahead and get a fire started, get the house warming back up. And then we'll come back out here and we'll see what we can do to start maybe cleaning this up a little bit. Maybe we can see about trying to get some of it put in these firewood totes. So what I'm using here is fat wood. It's like pine with a lot of sap in it, and that sap burns pretty good. And the trick is getting it in there without letting it go out. And I usually use 2 of them. Well, you can see it's 64 degrees in here right now. So we ought to start heating the house back up. I'm gonna stay in here just for a little bit to get the fire going, and then I'll turn the damper down to halfway, and then we'll head back out to the firewood shed. Well, I'm looking for a can of starting fluid because I think that'll help get the log splitter started up. I think it's actually over with the Case tractor. I think that's where it is. But I wanted to show you the pond real quick. If you look back here, this far end, it goes back that direction. This is frozen right there. It's got snow building up on it. And then you can see the rest of the pond here isn't frozen. And then we got a little bit of ice starting to form right there. So it's definitely been cold enough for the pond to start forming a little bit of ice. It'll take a while This pond's 3.5 acres, about 10 million gallons of water in this, and it'll take some pretty cold weather for it to finally completely freeze. Well, I've been inside long enough that the snow's starting to build up. Well, must have fell off the tractor, but there she is. Well, that's not a good sign when nothing comes out. I think we're on our own. So it doesn't look like I'm gonna get the log splitter to start right now. So I'm gonna go back, I'm gonna get a hitch for the side-by-side, and then we'll hook up to this and we'll take the log splitter back to the workshop and we'll let it warm up in there, and then I can work on it later. So I haven't used the hitch on this side-by-side before, so I went and grabbed one, and then I looked at it, and this hitch is like, you probably can't tell it, but this hitch is only maybe 8 inches off the ground, super low. So I've got this old hitch right here, and I'm thinking if I turn it over and then turn the ball over, that I could raise that up and make it a little bit higher. So I'm gonna take this in the shop, see if we can bust this apart. Some of these like ball hitches are extremely tight. So let's see if we can get apart. Haha, that was actually my first guess. 1.5 inches. Oh, I'm gonna need a cheater bar. Yeah, give me a little bit more leverage. Oh my God. Man. Well, this here is every bit of 6 feet. Oh. Well, definitely been in this bar trying to do this. That is crazy. So I don't think I'm actually moving the nut. I think the whole thing's spinning on there. It doesn't. This is an older one, and it doesn't have where the hitch ball fits into like a little groove to keep it from turning. So as we look at this hitch ball, it's sticking out the side now. This whole thing's twisting. Let's see if I can get the hitch ball in the vise here. I'll try again. Oh. Let's see this whole piece of square tube flex. Oh. When in doubt, get the torch out. Turn the lights out, you can see she's glowing. We got her warm. It's a great example how one job turns into another job and then turns into another job. Oh, whoa. I don't even need the cheater bar. Just the heat of it loosened it up. Off of there. Oh yeah, that'll be easy. Flip it over. Lock washer's probably not any good anymore. Burning my gloves. Gotta work quick. It's hot. Whew. See this, some of that smoke, I think it's my gloves. All right, that's probably good enough. So this is still as hot as can be. If I touch it with my gloves, you might be able to see it. See the smoke start coming off from touching it with my gloves. And it's still a little bit loose. I can spin it, but I think it'll cool down fairly quickly. Yeah, she's still really hot. Boiling it. I don't know if you guys can see it, but the wood splitter hitch is here and then this one is down here. There's still a foot difference between them. So I think I can raise this up like 2 more holes. I think. That's probably about as good as it's gonna get. Oh, that might be the right hitch for it actually. Yeah. It's hooked on there. So this may seem strange, but I'm going to use a heat gun because I've had trouble with this switch, this on-off switch before, and it doesn't feel right. I think it's frozen a little bit. Well, that feels more normal now. So I brought the starting fluid back inside. And now that it's warmed up, it'll actually spray. So I think it had some ice in it. Whew. I can definitely smell the starting fluid. Oh, it wanted to go. All right, we got the wood splitter running again, and I noticed that there's a piece on here that's bent, and I want to try to get it fixed before we take this back. So back here by the wedge, this piece, I don't know how well you're going to tell, it's actually bent outward. And we've got a bigger gap up here at the top, and I need to bend this in. And I'm pretty sure I got a piece of wood jammed in there one day, and that's what bent that out. But I think it's going to take a sledgehammer to get it fixed. So hopefully I can hit this and not hit the hydraulic lever. Almost there. That wasn't too bad. Now I can tell the other side's bent. So I think the log splitter's ready to use now, but I only got probably a half an hour left before I need to go do the evening chores. So let's put it back in the garage. We'll get it out tomorrow and we'll split wood then. So I'm gonna head back over to the livestock barn. I'm gonna check on them and I'm gonna fill up all their water, make sure it's not frozen because that is a problem right now. So over here in this barnyard, I put a 40-gallon trough here, and I've got a floating de-icer in there. It wants to sit kind of funny. I don't know if I'm real thrilled on that. I think I'd just rather have one sink to the bottom. But I never had one before, so I thought I'd buy it and try it out. So here in the barn, we've got one heated bucket right here so that they can come in here and drink from that if they need to. So the chickens just got a regular bucket of water. I changed that out earlier because it was starting to freeze. And I usually have a heated bucket in there as well. I just haven't been able to find it. And honestly, I probably didn't look that hard. And the heated bucket may be in this mess right here. Yep, here we go. This is the heated bucket we use for the chickens. All right, there we go. We got a heated bucket in the chicken coop, and it plugs in right over here. We got a GFCI outlet. So this hay feeder, I filled this up yesterday, and it looks like they've already ate down about half the hay. So I may end up having to fill that up a little more often than I thought. All right, so everything in this barn's good. And then over here, I got everybody watching me because they're hoping I feed them. You guys are starting to get some snow on you. Yeah. Hey, pigs. You guys only have 11 days left here. Just 11. Yeah. And you guys are going off to freezer camp. You really think about it, it looks like freezer camp already, doesn't it? All right, that one's working. That one looks kind of frozen. It is. There's definitely ice built up in that one. That one's working. These are probably the top ones, the one they use. And the water level, it's probably right about here. So probably have to fill this up a little bit more tomorrow. So I ran out this morning and I mailed off some t-shirts and stuff. I picked up some more straw while I was out. So I'm gonna go ahead and put one more bale in there for these guys so they can stay warm. You guys can't wait. Oh, didn't mean to make you jump. Don't do that, Biscuit. Biscuit, hey, you're too friendly. I can't even scare you away. Biscuit, don't. You guys gonna push this stuff in here? Get in there. Oh, get in there. There you go. So the bad thing about the pig water right now is the hose that used to fill it up, it's probably like 150 feet long. And it's completely frozen. So to fill up the pig water, we're hauling in buckets. It's the only way to do it right now. But luckily, I don't think I'll have to do that till tomorrow. Hello, ladies. So I filled up this water earlier today. Still pretty full, so I don't think I need to add any right now. All right, I think all the water is fine. Everybody's fine. I think we are done here except for maybe giving them a little feed. All right, so next morning, I've already done the chores this morning, so time to go ahead and try to get out the log splitter, see if we can at least get the firewood shed cleaned up a little bit, maybe split a little wood, see if we can get some of it put in those firewood totes. We're full. Let's go ahead and see if it'll start. It's a new day. There we go. Well, that's good because I thought for a minute there I thought I was going to have starting fluid again, but we got her going. There we go. So all this wood laying here in front of the totes, that's probably mostly soft maple, and then it's a bunch of little small chunks and little pieces. So it's all like junk firewood. So I'm gonna probably throw it into one tote. Probably won't even worry about stacking it. This pile back here, this is all hickory. So I'll probably stack that in a tote. And then we've got some oak rounds kind of back in here mixed in that need to be split. And if I can get this whole side cleaned up today, I think I'll be happy with that. You can see what I mean by like random chunks of firewood. All right, I just finished stacking our first firewood tote full of wood. I've kept it to where it doesn't stick out the top because you can actually stack these on top of each other. I don't know if I'm gonna do that or not, but I wanted to leave that possibility. And over here, we've removed probably at least a third of the hickory, getting close to half. And I've only got 2 more empty totes, so we may fill up every one of these just with the wood on this end. My pile of bark, it's getting bigger with all this hickory. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the side-by-side back, and then I'm gonna grab the 2515, a smaller tractor, and we'll come out here, we'll move these fire totes around, we'll get another empty one up here and start filling it up. Full tote of firewood. All right, I've got the whole hickory pile picked up, and now you can see the oak that's stacked here. And we almost ended up with 3 full firewood totes. And then this one over here, I kept on throwing all the junk wood into it. You can see it's got a lot fuller. So the hickory pile was so big, it was like overflowing the concrete onto the ground. And all those pieces in the dirt got full of bugs. They were starting to rot. So anything that was in the dirt, I just threw in this other firewood tote. And that's why it filled up so quickly. And it'll still burn. It just won't be the best. I'll probably end up burning most of this out in the workshop. So let's go ahead and see if we can split up some of this oak. It's not the best stuff. You can tell it's like solid in the middle, but it's kind of rotten around the edges. So it'll still burn. It's just not going to be very good firewood. So I ended up putting the oak in this tote that has the not so good firewood. I hated to kind of mix it with the hickory. I've still got a little stack here of oak that I need to split. And this pile of bark and little pieces of wood and everything, this thing has grown to about 3 times its size. So I definitely need to set up a fire pit or a burn barrel out here so I can start burning all of this bark and like splintered wood and just kind of all the debris that comes off of splitting wood. So I am a little low on seasoned firewood this year. I've got this single stack back here, and then all the hickory that we put in the totes today, that's all that's been split for over a year. It's seasoned, it's ready to go, and that's probably about 1 1/3 cords of seasoned wood that I have left. And back here I have a stack of firewood rounds, and it had fallen over right there, but it goes all the way back there. And I wouldn't consider that seasoned firewood because we haven't split it up yet, but it is dry enough. I can split it up and still burn it this year if I need to. And being low on firewood is really by design. I want to use up the majority of this firewood. That way it's easier to clean out this firewood shed, and then I can tear it down, and I plan on rebuilding it. And that's probably gonna be one of the goals for next year. And then after the firewood shed's rebuilt, I've already got a whole stack of firewood logs here that we can cut and split and start filling it back up. Anyway, guys, I think that's it for this video. I felt like I got a lot accomplished out here, and I'm gonna go inside and warm up and have some lunch. So hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you in the next one.